Good evening and welcome to the 87th year of the Stoddard County Fair, and we're here at the Stoddard County Fair Parade. I'm Kevin Bishop alongside my beautiful wife Lori Bishop, and as you can see right here, the Cub Scouts are getting us started with the Honor Guard, and they are followed here by Lori. Can you tell who that is?
This is the Grand Marshal.
Okay.
Which is always a
There's
surprise.
Cub Scouts. The Grand Marshal is always a surprise. The Fair Board tries to keep that top secret all the way up until now, and we've not known, so we'll get to see who the Grand Marshal here is tonight. And your Grand Marshal is Connie Hucks. So congratulations to Miss Hucks. She drives along in the Corvette and waves at the camera. We've got excellent weather here tonight for the parade and for the fair. I believe it was around 70 degrees whenever I got out of the truck. You can't hardly ask for better weather conditions. There's been several years it's been raining or cold or extremely hot.
Well, we did have a talk in our office today, and we cannot recall the last time the parade was ever rained out. So you're...
Well, maybe no rainouts.
No rain out. We were impressed by that.
And here is the Dexter Police Department and their cruisers. Officer Odell was kind enough to give us honor badges earlier, right before the parade. Officer Odell is out in the street right here in front of us. She does the DARE program at Central Elementary for kids, where they inform kids about drugs and drug use, and I think it's a great program to get out in front of the kids early in their lives. And of course, you always have the ambulance in the parade, and they'll be followed up here by the fire department, so the Stoddard County Ambulance District. And there's the followed up behind them, Assistant Chief Dave Rowe with his daughter Jamie Rowe. And looks like he's got his grandkids there in the back, pulling them in a trailer. Jamie had a birthday just a week ago or so happy belated birthday to Jamie.
Favorite to the kids, the big fire truck.
Yeah, I'm surprised we've not heard the sirens yet. I'm sure we'll hear them before they get to the end of the street. Several people on hand here for the fair. It's fair parade. It always pulls out a good crowd, and again, there's tons of kids and a lot of support from Stoddard County out here at the fair tonight. But we represent several communities. Again, this is the Stoddard County Fair, so we've got Puxco, Bernie, Advance, Bell City, Bloomfield that'll all be in attendance with their, a lot of times their police department, fire department, certainly their bands, which is a big part of the parade that everybody looks forward to.
How many bands did we have lined up for the parade? I
think we have 11 bands, and for the bands, that's a big deal. We're actually on stage with the judges, but they always name the top band of the parade each year, and I know for all those individuals, that's a big part of their school year is to walk away with that title of best band in the parade.
Here comes the sirens you were waiting for. I believe it's going to be a lengthy parade. We have over 20 floats this year and over 20 queens that are here to show off their titles.
Yeah, the queens are always a staple of any parade. And we know we had 21 floats coming in today. Talked to Miss Coleman, and they thought they might have had a couple of late entries. So like Lori said, we have over 20 floats. And there's your Stoddard County Sheriff's Department next here in the parade. And appreciate Sheriff Carl Hefner and all of his deputies for what they do here in Stoddard County. I know they do a good job of keeping this county safe and a good place to raise your family. We've got a little bit of a break here, so we'll see who's coming up the street here next. And this has become kind of an annual deal here in the parades, the carrying of the crosses, representation of Jesus carrying the cross, and this is always neat. And they always have several individuals that will carry these crosses in the parade, and you might have seen them going through town at times. As soon as we can get a a name on who may be doing this, we'll give that to you. But very impressive, and they've even you can see several of the little ones have smaller crosses, so they get the opportunity to show their support, and they'll stop here in front of the float to raise the crosses. You can see the back of their shirts say carrythecrossnow.com, so for information on that, go to carrythecross.com.
Got Mindy LeGrand back here.
Miss Mindy Bell.
To the city of Dexter. I'm sorry, Mindy Bell.
And you'll see their float here with several crosses. I'm sorry, Lori.
Nope, you're fine. We got our first queen coming up. And our first band, which will be Puxico. And it is their high school band.
What queen do we have here, Lori? We'll see once they, and we've also got the titles that they displayed, but this is
Junior Miss Essex Gray Ridge, Megan Cullum.
So Megan Cullum, Junior Miss Essex Gray Ridge. And as Lori said, here comes the Puxico High School Marching Band. And we'll tune out here for a second so you can listen to the band as they play. And we'll probably see the bands stop here all night long, as we said earlier. The judges for the competition are on stage with us, and 3 or 4 judges in hand. There's some here in front of the Puxico Marching Band doing a really good job, getting a good applause from the parade attendees. And they sound really good from here on the stage. I guess this would be your majorettes, Lori, is that correct? And looks like we have our first float of the evening here following the marching Puxico Indians. We apologize, we're a little bit slow on getting you the name on the floats. From where we set here, it's kind of tough to see.
Job Corps.
And this is the Job Corps. Their sign says 50th anniversary of the Job Corps, so congratulations on 50 years to the Job Corps. There's a lot of work that goes into these floats, Lori. You work for Young Real Estate, and you guys have been one of the top floats for several years, and you can attest to how much work goes into these floats.
Lots of planning, lots of hours, but we love doing it, and the community loves seeing it. Next, we got a Christmas float. Kevin, if you want to...
This is Operation Christmas Child. This is the... I don't want to be totally wrong. This may be similar to what the Daily Statesman does. They do the Operation Christmas Child, where you can adopt a family.
I believe what you do is the fill the shoebox.
Oh, okay. Yeah, you're exactly right.
Yeah, a lot of churches take part in that.
That is
fill the shoe boxes for a child, and they ship them to where they need to go.
And here comes the Dexter PAT, Parents as Teachers. And PAT is very active in the elementary schools, so Southwest, Central. And I believe they do help middle school to some extent, but PAT, I know they fund a lot of money back into the school.
We got a Jedi here on the stroller. This
Yeah.
is
I believe that may still be part of PAT, and they've decorated strollers, it looks like, so great idea. And there's Miss Carla.
maybe not.
And here is Sherm Jr. Smith. Smith's Auto Auction. Sherm Smith has been a big part of this community for several years. We appreciate what their family does for this community, and looks like he's got a few of his classic cars on display here. Many people may not know it, but Sherm's Auto Auction is one of the largest in the U.S. Talking to Sherm, it's one of the top 3 in the country. And they go all over Texas, Oklahoma, down in Florida, and he's certainly got his hand on several cars that people around the world are interested in.
Antiques, classics. Just seen a classic Cadillac roll by. They're all in mint condition, which is very impressive.
Sherm certainly has an impressive collection. And there's Sherm right there driving one of the trucks.
He's going to be followed up by Smith Payne Realty. And I'm pretty sure this was one of his latest purchases. They're going to be rolling up in the Stretch Limousine, the real estate company.
Smith Payne, they're brokered there by Melanie Payne. As you see Melanie there, you'll see her in just a moment, carrying the banner that says "Go First Class, Smith Payne Realty," and as Lori mentioned, in the Stretch Limousine. And I think that the limo's a fairly new purchase of Sherm's. He hadn't had this limo very long. I may have to hit him up for some teenage girls to ride in that to some dances. My 13-year-old daughter would enjoy that, I'm sure.
We've got Sherry Burnett in the front.
And I believe, is that Joe?
Yes, I think that
Melanie's
is
husband, Joe
Melanie's
Payne,
husband
and he's
driving.
a pastor out at Liberty Hill.
Then we have a few of the agents there at Smith Payne, following behind the Navigator.
And another Queen we have coming here shortly as we'll dial in on them in here in just a second. And this is Blair Rogers. And Blair is Junior Miss Stoddard County 2013. And I know Blair does several pageants and has been very successful. So congratulations to Blair.
And this one is the Stoddard County ARC 2014 King.
And next we have the Stoddard County ARC 2014 King, and that's Lester Thornburg. And he's getting a good applause from the crowd, and he's enjoying that. So congratulations, Lester.
Got Beth Williams driving Mr. Lester Thornburg.
And this I believe this is going to be our Stoddard County elected officials. So we got Mr. Joe Satterfield down there. We'll make it happen Saturday night. Joe's really active in the Lions Club here at Dexter. Miss Carla Moore. Mr. Mathis here. Mr. Mathis there, we'd like to do a shout out to his son Eric and daughter-in-law Brittany in Birmingham, Alabama. Hey, we appreciate you guys tuning in. That's the thing about YHC, you can watch all around the world. So Eric and Brittany, we appreciate you tuning in from Birmingham, Alabama, and I guess we could give you a roll tide. So Greg Mathis, as we said, was running for presiding commissioner, and he's currently the presiding commissioner, so good luck to Greg. And right behind him we have Ryan Hoder, which is running for state representative, District 151. And this is an election year, so we'll have a handful of candidates in the parade tonight. So
got a little gap here.
I believe Greg, he usually has a family chili supper at his house every year. It's kind of a tradition that they've had for several years, is when the fair's over, everybody goes to his house and eats chili. But couldn't thank Greg enough. He does a lot for the community.
Next, we got countywide insurance.
They're hauling all of our veterans. Looks like countywide, Mr. Alan Hedrick, he's pulling a float with several veterans as they get an applause well due. We certainly wouldn't have the freedoms we have today without these girls and guys, and they certainly don't get the appreciation that they're due. But we appreciate everything they do for us, and the ones currently serving, we appreciate you guys. And that is the American Legion he is pulling. And next up, we have our next marching band. And as they get up here closer to us, I'll tune out again. But this is the Advance Marching Band. So Advance, I know they've always had some strong performance in the parade, haven't they, Lori?
Yes.
And they stopping here in front of the judges' table. And I suspect they will march through here just shortly. Not sure how well you can hear the band from the mic, but as they get up here closer, I'll try to stick the mic out there for you guys tuning in Advance, wanting to hear the Advance Marching Band. Lori, I've never been known to have the musical ear, but these bands have certainly, from my opinion, got to be tough to judge. They all sound really good to me.
They do sound great. I believe the song we got going here is I Feel Good.
I feel good. I think you're exactly right. And here we got another queen coming up, Lori, and this is Melaine Enderly. And I don't see Melaine's name on here, but Melaine is Little Miss Advance. Followed up by Rainbow Reynolds with Mickey and Minnie Mouse.
Car full of characters. I'm pretty sure they also have the big blow-ups that kids like to jump on, and they also have a train that you can rent out, and they do lots of parties.
And here we, three girls that I know very well in my daughter's grade, Ray Ann Riddle, Junior Miss Dexter, Macy Roper, first attendant, and Kelby Hill, second attendant. So congratulations to those girls. And we apologize, the parade's actually moving kind of fast now. Here we have Addison Long, first alternate, and Courtney Potts, Miss DHS. So apologize, we were a little late on that. Like I said, it's moving a little quicker now, but looks like we have Senator Lible, which is fairly newly elected, Republican, walking in the parade.
We got little Mr. Dexter. Approaching now. And that is Bronson Minley. Handsome little guy.
I believe Bronson's grandmother is the famous Miss Minley Cookies, if I'm not mistaken.
Oh, everybody knows the Minley cookies.
And we have UCAN. And UCAN will actually be having a golf tournament this Friday, the 26th. So if you don't have anything going on Friday at Bloomfield, come out and play in the golf tournament. Goes to a good cause.
The one making all the noise now is the Essex Fire Department.
Essex is coming through for us on the sirens. I knew somebody would.
Followed up by Bell City.
And as Lori said, the Bell City Fire Department. I can see all the little boys are getting a big kick out of the sirens. And here we have the Dudley Fire Department. Dudley with one of their few trucks here.
The last one, the loudest one, is Bloomfield rolling through right now.
This is the Bloomfield Fire Department, and I'm sure there were several area fire departments that displayed a memorial to the 9/11 attacks, but I did notice the Bloomfield Fire Department had theirs parked along the road with a flag at half staff last week, so much appreciated. And here, Madison Bochaman, Young Miss Heartland Queen, Junior Miss Labor Day, first alternate. And I apologize if I butcher any names, but congratulations to Miss Madison. And she's followed up by Simber Arnold, Junior Miss Bernie, 2014. So.
And Miss Ashlyn Stevens is also on that ride.
Yes, thank you, Lori. And she is Miss Bernie 2014. Here we have Christonia Swan, first alternate Stoddard County Fair. And Grand Supreme Queen of Missouri Southern. And Little Miss Bernie Queen, Alexa Dillinger. And that is her dad, Nathan Dillinger, driving her there in the car. Who do we have here, Lori?
Looks like Stoddard County Senior Center.
So, former state representative Billy Pat Wright driving the car representing the senior King George Cox and Queen Sue Brillhart. So, congratulations to the King and Queen. And then here is our Stoddard County elected officials. Maybe we've got Justin Kelly, Jason Smith, Tyler Rowland, Judge Steve Mitchell, Cecil Weeks. This is the Republican float, as I gather. Carol Jarrell, Joe Watson. So the Republicans with their float, and I see a lot of Vote Justin Kelly shirts on. And we have a float by Cecil Weeks, which is also running for presiding commissioner.
Fishing for votes. That's a catchy thing.
And in the Oder El Camino there. And this will be followed up by Paula Yancey for circuit clerk. I didn't realize Miss Yancey was running for circuit clerk. Her husband Randy driving that. Didn't realize Miss Yancey was running for clerk, but good luck to her. And followed up here by Judge Steve Mitchell, who just won recently in a tight race. So congratulations to Judge Mitchell. And here we have Danny Talkington. It looks like his wife is driving the vehicle, followed by Joe Watson. Danny is one of our commissioners, and Joe Watson is the county recorder. And with Miss Tyler Rowland Hubert. And she, I see a favorite to IHC, Miss Kristen Bush, walking in that line. She didn't look up here at us. She's dodging. She's dodging us on purpose.
Oh, we got another band here.
This would be the Bell City marching bands. And this is followed up by Homecoming Weekend 2014. So we have Dexter. I see all freshmen there on the front rows. I see Miss Trout, Miss Cruz, several of them. Sorry I didn't get all their names in, but they're promoting the Bearcat Color Burst Run and the Bearcat Homecoming Community Tailgate, and that'll be the second year for this. As we see Miss Cheyenne Giants, Coach Peden. Coach Peden, get us away. Coach Peden must be deaf. It's Friday night. So, Coach, congratulations to the Bearcats coming off a big win against Sykes, and I know that's been enough to get this community fired up. Here we have Pro Tire, followed by Phil Childress Bell Bonds. Lord, that may be a number we need to write down.
Hopefully not.
Phil's out of I think out of Poplar Bluff. I guess he's got Devin Miller working as an agent. Didn't realize Devin was in that career field. And here we have Metal Weld, welding supplies. Metal Weld, an industry that's been in this community for several years. It looks like they have locations in Dexter, Houston, and Sykes. And I did not realize Metal Weld had some there. And they're their previous owners, Jay and Jan, from 1976 to 2001, so good to see them.
Now we got the present.
And the president, Ed and Debbie.
The future following up.
And so, good idea there by Metal Weld, past, present, future. And this is Eric and Tiffany and the girls. And here we have in the brown construction truck 2014 Wee Miss Bernie Paisley Owens. And she's not happy right now. So she's followed up by Gracie.
Missouri Ultimate Grand.
It's getting a little chilly up here on the stage, Lori.
There is. The breeze is coming in. We got a couple more queens.
This will be Avery Ackman, and she is Little Miss Dexter 2014.
Her and her little sister do a lot of pageants, and they hold a lot of titles. Very beautiful little girls.
Who do we have here, Lori?
This is Ava Porter. She's Little Miss Stoddard County.
And here we have foster care. We foster care, and that's Brooke Hessling, and followed up. She's got Miss Shipman there with her, and I know both those families do keep foster kids, and that's a much needed and a much admired career field to choose. But you know, there's several kids out there that do need foster care, unfortunately, and Stoddard County's certainly has as much of an issue as a lot of counties do with that.
Looks like we got another band, and this is going to be Bernie High School.
So the Bernie High School marching band, Bernie Mules, bringing their band to town tonight to play. So
one of the smaller bands, but definitely produces great music.
So I will see if I can end a Bernie Mule marching band. Bernie Mule's first band not to stop in front of the stage, but here we have Carrillo Martial Arts, and I see Ray and Heather Carrillo there, and Ray a big part of the community. I know he has an after-school program and for kids to attend, and my son attended there for a while, and I nothing but good things to say about him. It learned a lot, good discipline, so we appreciate Carrillo Martial Arts. We've got a gap in.
Like we got big trucks coming up though.
And I believe they told me one of our queens may be in one of these bigger trucks, so the sign quick enough to get their name on air. Again, you're tuning in on YHC-TV, and we appreciate you guys tuning in. If you're out there anywhere in the world, you can tune in and watch this, and I'm sure Tyler will be replaying this throughout the week. And again, you can always catch us on Friday nights for home football games of the Dexter Bearcats. I believe the next home game will be on the 25th against the Kennett Indians, and it's a much anticipated game as Coach Pixley comes back to town and the home for the Dexter Bearcats. So here we go. We're back on the parade, and we have the Turbo Bliss, Brooklyn, 2013.
Stoddard County. Yeah. 2013. They kind of flew by.
They did, but
went that quick. Looks like we're going to have another little bit of a gap here.
That was a little bit of a slow pace, and they put it into gear, and they were up on us before we had time to think about it. But many more floats and entries to come. I know there's several floats on here that we've not seen yet, and I've seen them around town this week, so there's a lot of work that have went into these floats, and I'm anxious to see the finished product on several of them. A shot there to go, but as I'd said earlier, nice crowd on. And of course, we always have a good crowd for the Stoddard County Parade. And who do we have up here next, Lori?
Looks like 2014, we Miss Dexter, and this is Miss Kinsey Holder.
Kinsey and her
mom, Kelsey.
Her mom, Kelsey. I think they also do quite a few pageants, and she's won several titles, I believe. And here we have Miss Amelia Holden, Petite Miss Dexter, Petite Miss Heartland. Her dad Ryan there driving her in the car. And this is Brooklyn, and she is. I apologize, I didn't get the titles. It was too small in the sun. And Emma, I see Emma in there. So here we have Molly Murphy. She was the queen of the Fall Fest. Molly, a 7th grader here at Dexter Middle School.
Also holds many titles. Got one more queen coming up.
Starting to get a little bit of a stretch here and gaps in between. But it'll all line out here shortly. And we have looks like a tiny queen we have coming up here. I can see.
We may have a couple in the back of this truck.
I see several trophies there on top of the truck with a crown.
No, I think they all belong.
There's old Derek Driscoll driving the pickup truck.
Here we go. That's Miss Briley Childers.
Briley Childers, cutest baby girl, Stoddard County Fair Queen, Dream Away Cancer Queen. So several.
Like it's going to be a minute. So what are you looking forward to at the fair this evening?
I'm always a big fan of the Lions Club funnel cakes. If you get a chance to swing by there, you can't beat their funnel cakes. Best funnel cakes I've ever had at the fair. Good group of guys too, and all the money and proceeds from the Lions Club goes directly back into this community towards scholarships and.
Great organization.
Great, several. They buy several children eyeglasses without any notoriety. It's just part of what they do. So
I know local JCs will be raffling off a couple coolers, name brand coolers. Nice. They've been selling raffle tickets. Again, that money goes back to help the community.
Yeah, there'll be several raffles on hand. I know the Elks always have their traditional trailer that they give away, and I've entered into that thing every year, hoping to win it. So I didn't have to borrow somebody's trailer all the time. Three Rivers Raiders cheerleaders coming up. Three Rivers, a big part of this community since 2011, and Bill Hampton, heard him speak the other day, and they're up to 437 students here at this Dexter campus. So it's really shot off the ground. And of course, Three Rivers, if you travel Highway 60 much, they've got the new center going up over at Sykes, and it's just really impressive. Pretty impressive there. A little backflip, tumble.
And we got the mascot coming up here in a second.
So the tumbling getting some applause from the crowd, and here's the float that they have. And this is they're kind of promoting their diesel mechanic program that they have here, and it's just really impressive. I mean, diesel mechanic makes really good money, coming out of school, and it gives, there's a high demand for that right now from what I hear. So see Mr. Bill Hampton there, never short of words, and his wife, Miss Connie, and she runs the Malden Center, and Bill runs the Dexter Center here. Here's Ferguson Medical Group, Miss Kim Essner and her daughter Kennedy and Claire walking in front of her. Dr. Rick Wers, Dr. Ware. So Dexter's fortunate. We have Ferguson Medical Group, Poplar Bluff Medical, SEMO Health, rumors of St. Francis coming to town. So for a small community, we're
growing.
Yeah, we're Dr. Rich, I guess you could say.
There you go.
And here we were talking about the JCs earlier, and here comes the JC's float, and they're promoting their annual St. Patrick's Day bed races. And if you did not get a chance to attend that last year, a lot of fun. And Lori can tell you a little bit more about the beds here.
Homemade beds. We line them up on the street. And that's Mr. Roy Williams. We line these beds up. We race down the street and set a bracket. And we have an ultimate winner. And this past year, we brought it back, and actually Fiddlers took home the gold.
Yeah, and the floats get pretty creative, or the beds, so to say. So, and here's Jim Bollinger, Heating and Air, and Jim Bollinger and Son, Heating and Air, and Jimbo just put the air in my new house, and it seems to be cool and fine. So, Brayden do a good job, and followed up here by New Wave Cable, our local cable provider, and we're brought to you on their station on channel 21, as you know if you're watching at home.
I think this is Bud Shell.
Looks like, yeah, you're exactly right. See Robert Shell there driving the Bud Shell truck, and Bud Shell has as their sign says, a $1.4 million renovation going on right now. So a lot of work going on down at Bud Shell, and Bud Shell's been a big part of this community for several years too. And here is this Little Miss May Hall Park Day. Bill Evans, that's your queen. This is 75 Granville Pontiac, owner J.W. Meinhardt, so displaying his...
The Wapapellet Civic Center.
And here we have SEMO Options Senior Care with their advertising vehicle. Followed up here by Gracie Reliant Health Services. Grace Reliant Health Services, not Gracie. And then we have SEMO Builders and M&M Lawn Care.
On the four-wheeler. We're going to have a little break again. Looks like we got another band.
See the band. Also, we mentioned a little bit earlier about the football Bearcats. Also, like to congratulate the volleyball Lady Bearcats as they come away with a big win this weekend in the Dig for Life tournament, I believe. But I think nearly 50 teams in that tournament, and they walked away winners of that tournament over the normally favored Notre Dame team. And they were having a really good year this year. You know, one of the better volleyball teams to come through Dexter in several years. So congratulations to those girls, and I know they work extremely hard in practice.
Definitely fun to watch. Really enjoy going to the volleyball games.
Yeah, and we hope to see maybe them make a big run at districts this year. So
I think we may have the Bloomfield High School Bernie coming up the street.
as you can see here, we're getting a shot of the crowd down the street here, and as usual, it's, you know,
Full house.
3 and 4 rows deep and just tons of people on hand. And we mentioned earlier, you can't beat the weather conditions. I mean, it's just a perfect night for a parade and a fair. So look across the street there, and I see my daughter just playing on her cell phone. I don't know how much she's paying attention, but she's sitting with Meg Simmons and Miss Simmons, one of our middle school teachers here at Dexter. I see some of the attendees that have already went through the parade. It looks like they've made it to the end of the street. They're starting to filter back in where they can watch the rest of the parade. As I see the freshmen that were promoting homecoming week. And you are right, Lloyd. It's the Bloomfield High School marching band.
Sounds like they made trying to.
We're near Dexter. You know we have no shortage of, as there's ones coming through right now. Look, the horns will be blowing. So get play for the judges to really hear them play. I know we probably left out several down at the fair tonight, but if you get a chance, a lot of local organizations down there. I know the Rotary Club, the Elks, First Baptist Church, the JC down there. Of course, your politicians will be on hand, chance to meet them, and if you're not sure who you're voting for, maybe get a chance to learn a little bit about some of those politicians.
Don't forget to check out the houses there in the back. There's lots of booths set up. Local churches will have cakes.
Vendors.
Yeah, a lot of vendors.
So here we have the Bloomfield High School Marching Wildcats making their way to the stage. And if you'll, I know Tyler will have this later in the week. If you tune in, you'll be able to find out who the winning floats were. I think they have three, maybe commercial, church, and
For the
floats.
Yeah, I think there's 3 categories.
I don't know the exact breakdown, but they try to make it fair for the different organizations. Try to group them together the best they can, and then
They usually have the winners announced by morning.
So maybe by tomorrow you'll be able to find out your winners of the band competition along with all the floats. So we'll tune out here for the Bloomfield High School Marching Band. Just got a text from Ryan Fish. I appreciate his kind words. Said him and his family always enjoy watching the Bishops do the parade. Nice job. We have Dee Dee's Custom Creations. And in the back of that truck we have Ariel Harris, Tiny Miss Chamber of Commerce 2014. Tiny Miss Community Day, Bell City. Sylvia Bates, Dawson, Miss McClellan, Emily Garner. So several.
Custom creations. They have tux rentals, prom gifts, tanning.
Several. And then here we have Haley Craft, 2013 Stoddard County Fair. first alternate. Several titles there. 2014 Little Miss Ag Expo second alternate. So it looks like Miss Haley. Not sure who we have here, but if you can't get out for chanting "I believe in Jesus Christ," several children locked arm in arm with a few clowns for the entertainment. So I apologize, I don't have a name on that entry, but it may be just leading this one right here. You think?
I believe it's a church out of Bloomfield. Is Assembly.
Who do we have here? This says Faith, Family, God, and Country, and looks like maybe a memorial to some fallen soldiers or maybe previous veterans. And again, we appreciate our veterans. And here we have Sophie Thorne, Miss Bloomfield, and her the younger sister. Several of you heard Miss Maggie sing on the radio. And good parents, and they're from Bloomfield.
Like we got the Girl Scouts coming up.
And we had the Cub Scouts earlier, and here we have the Girl Scouts, and they've got their made like the Scouts cookies. Can't get enough of those, can you?
Oh no.
The Girl Scouts, and behind them we have the Bloomfield FFA chapter.
Another FFA float, established in 1928, it says.
And this is, I'm assuming, still Bloomfield. This is the Bloomfield float, because I see the Mayos, Pioneer Seed. The Mayos actually go to the church with the Mayos, so they a good, nice small business we have in East Missouri, and they're pulling the float for the Bloomfield FFA. And here we have Miss BHS 2014, Adriana Gensler. And here we have Miss Emily, Stoddard County Fair second alternate, and Miss Oktoberfest Queen.
Oh, and here comes a little bitty baby. Baby Miss Heartland 2014. And that is Lexi Espy, the baby of Jerica Espy.
Jerica and Thomas, and I know Miss Tom and Birdie Espy are excited about their grandbaby, so congratulations. Miss Greg, Mark, Miss Heart of Hope.
And here we got Williams Moving Company.
Williams, owned by Mr. Harold Williams. And I actually serve on the school board with his son, Rick Williams. And the Williams family is another long-standing family in this community. So, and here behind them we have Hefner Furniture, and Hefner Furniture is always good about putting a truck in the parade. So they've got one again this year.
Yep, you can find Hefners at Poplar Bluff and in Farmington.
I know Slug has a place over at the lake, so if you're ever cruising around Wapapella, he's big into the boat racing, and I believe he's the one that brings the annual boat races to Wapapella Lake. And next up we have Montgomery Bank. Recognize several faces on that float as I see Mr. Damon, his mom Kristen, Miss Teresa, they're waving, and then Miss Bailey on the back. Kyle was driving the truck there, so.
We got the Dexter High School Band.
And the Marching Bearcats. So we get to see Dexter's Marching Bearcats. As they get up here closer, I will throw the mic out there where you can hopefully hear them as you're watching at home. And here we go. Your marching Bearcats, as they get a big applause from the crowd, and they sounded outstanding. So, good luck to the marching Bearcats. And they're followed up here by their flag girls. All right. And the Ducks Unlimited float, Lori says we got coming up. They have maybe you'll see it here on the camera in a moment, but they have their duck mascot, so I'm sure a lot of the little kids are going to really enjoy the duck mascot.
Now, this is the first time I've ever seen their duck mascot.
I don't believe I've ever seen the duck mascot. It looks like they got Darren Burnett there, the way the camera.
Got his wife Jody. And
Jody.
And I believe their dog's name is Mac.
Mac. And I see Miss Mia Williams. She's going to pop out. Corbin Williams. Corbin in the back. So, hey.
Funny duck.
I say that's, to me, one of the better floats I've seen so far.
I like it. A large duck blind.
A lot of creativity into that.
Boat for side.
And here we have First State Bank and Trust. I see Mr. Gordon Waller and Miss Christine. How are you doing, Miss Young? Christine's got a son, Chandler Young, that's here in high school at Dexter.
Got a football theme.
And looks like they've got their jerseys going on over there. So, First State Bank and Trust with the football theme float.
October 12th, 10 a.m., the big day.
This looks like this may be a lighthouse, possibly. As I see their pastor here.
You're absolutely right.
So, promoting October the 12th, 10 a.m., big day. So, sure, some type of special service that the Lighthouse has planned, and Lighthouse is heavily tied to Hope International here in Stoddard County.
And it says everybody's invited October the 12th, so head out on over to the Lighthouse.
And here's Miss Stephanie Monroe walking, and look at, and her little boy waving up there. As you can tune in there. Yeah, they're trying to check it out. They're like, Mom, Dad, who you want me to wave at? I'll just wave.
Then this group is still with the Lighthouse promoting the big day.
Oh, okay, this is all Lighthouse attendees. All right. I didn't realize Stephanie attended Lighthouse Church. Stephanie, from a Bloomfield resident.
Stephanie and Josh Monroe.
And here we have still the yeah, you just said it, the Lighthouse Church, the big day. So they've
Was it October the 12th, I believe? Who's that back there we got bugging us?
we have Miss Renee back there with Renee's Ironing. She just opened up on Walnut, so if you need any clothes ironed, I know Renee can fix you up. Here we have an antique tractor, McCormick Diesel, followed up by an Oliver 770. I like these old tractors. It's amazing how far agriculture has come just in the past 20, 30 years.
Well, I'll be honest, you know a lot more about the tractors than I do. I remember last year you were talking about the antique tractors. You know a few farmers that like to fill you in on them.
We actually have an individual here Lori's referring to, Randall Niehaus, that lives here in Dexter. And he has one of the largest antique tractor collections in the country. I mean, it's just phenomenal, some of the tractors he has. And here we have the classic John Deere, 2 of them here. Not sure what models those are, but some of you watching at home, I'm sure you know exactly what models they are.
Followed by the John Deere golf cart.
John Deere golf cart, yep.
Oh, wow.
Well, and then these John Deere tractors are going to be followed here by the big red case tractor.
Quad track.
Try to see who we have driving this.
Not sure who's in the cab of that one.
Yeah, those machines now, you can see inside of those. I mean, just air conditioned, radio, a lot different from the open cab on some of those older model traffics.
Still
Tractors.
Make it any easier.
Yeah. Here, as we mentioned earlier, we've got fairly new to the community. They've just purchased the Dexter Hospital in the last couple of years. Southeast Health. Southeast big all throughout Southeast Missouri, and we're glad to have them in town. I see Miss Amy Ellinghouse and Miss Anna Ellinghouse. She's posing for a picture for the paper. There we got a wave out of Anna, so thumbs up from Amy.
And they've done quite an addition to the hospital. If you want to tell about that.
Yeah, and I just they're actually going to have their grand opening on September the 24th. Big community event to get in and see the new addition. It's their state-of-the-art facility that they've opened up, and I believe plans for a new emergency room are on the horizon. So Shelby Hessling back there waving, and I know Shelby works at the clinic at Walmart, which is also a nice addition here, an urgent care. And here we have the TS Middle School Marching Bearcats. That looks like a slate in there at the front of the Bearcats, doesn't it?
Indeed it is.
I see Adam Clark. They're walking with the Marching Bearcats. Adam also a teacher at Central Elementary. Bearcat Middle School looks to have good numbers for a middle school band. There's quite a few kids.
It is a large band.
Got my daughter Anna Claire here that's in middle school. Anna Claire, do you have anything you want to say about the band? Yeah, she says they do a good job.
I would say it's probably safe to say that this is probably the biggest band that we've seen in the parade yet.
Yeah, and this is middle school, as we said, so.
They are good.
Outstanding job by the middle school Bearcats, and right behind them
This is the middle school cheerleaders.
So we have the middle school cheerleaders. Again, I recognize several of these faces, so I'm not even going to start to try to name names, as I have a daughter that's in 8th grade. So, and I see a few of these middle school cheerleaders that are pulling double duty. They were Macy was on a float earlier as one of your queens, and then I guess she had time to change and jump into her cheerleading uniform, and now cheering. So is Rayanne. So there's your Dexter middle school cheerleaders, and there's Miss Delaney Lemon.
Always got a smile on her face.
And here's the mascot, the classic Bearcat, and then Mr. Cruz and Miss Angie Duncan following up the cheerleaders. And Miss Whitney Heighton, Whitney is the sponsor for cheerleaders. And here we have Ag Venture with Mayberry Seed Company. Mr. Matt Mayberry pulling the Ag Venture truck. Play-by-play, Matt.
This is around the world. I'm sure this is
Miss
Jennifer Howard.
Laney Mills over there on the other side, I see. Miss Jennifer Howard.
The Vision, the Dexter Family Eye Care.
Dexter Family Eye Care, yes. So that's the Dexter Family Eye Care float.
Representing
Dr. Howard. Both. Well, I guess it would be Dr. Mayberry and Dr. Howard.
Looks like we've got Greenville coming up, the next band, and it is their high school.
So the Greenville Marching Band coming up. And that's a pretty good little haul for Greenville down here for the band. We certainly appreciate them coming to entertain. Been a good parade. Corey.
I'd say so.
We've had several good floats. The bands have all sounded excellent. The leaders, the classic fire trucks, so still quite a bit more to come. As we said earlier, 21 floats, and I think we've probably only seen 4 or 5.
Yeah.
So a bunch come, and here we have the Greenville High School Marching Bears. And hopefully for those maybe watching in the Greenville area, you'll be able to hear when I get the mic out on them. And there was your Greenville Marching Bears.
We got the Stoddard County Gospel Mission pulling a float. Looks like a duck blind. Oh, sorry. Deer hunting.
And we're fortunate to have the Gospel Mission here in town. The amount of food they put out, especially during the holidays, to families that are certainly in need of that. So appreciate the Stoddard County Gospel Mission. And there's
the Richland High School.
So the Richland High School Marching Band, and might possibly get to see my good buddy Luke Rhodes, as Luke's the son of Jim and Cindy Rhodes, and Cindy is the high school principal for Richland. Jim's the local Farm Bureau agent here in Stoddard County, along with Travis Miller in that office, but we'll look for Luke here and see if we see him, see if we possibly get a wave out of him if he's. And I spot Luke over on the far right. His grandmother, Judy Rhodes, I'm sure is here somewhere watching. So your Richland Marching Band. I see we have Nicole Mansker and Shane Mansker possibly wanting to come up on stage and saying no. Nicole says no. Shane says no. All right, it's a great job by the Richland Marching Rebels. And we got our next float here is. Let's see who we got. Looks like Girl Scouts.
Let's see if we can see what troop this is.
Yeah, well, Lori's looking for the troop number, but
might be on the back.
Stoddard County is fortunate to have a Girl Scout office here in the county, located here in Dexter, out behind the hospital. I know they get a lot of use out of that thing. It's a really nice facility as well. And here we have the Rivers of Life Ministries of Dexter, Missouri. And another veteran-themed float. And Mr. Ray. Seeing a lot of veteran-themed floats, and which is just great to see.
Looks like we got the Young Real Estate float slowly approaching. is always a crowd pleaser.
Young Real Estate, and we're not being biased, even though my wife is an agent for Young Real Estate, but they have. I mean, they those girls put a lot of effort into the float, and I believe won first place in their division last year. Maybe have gotten first a couple of times. I know have placed second or third a few times, but they're always one of the top contenders.
This will be the 7th year that we've actually entered a big float. A lot of hard work, and we always try to put that real estate theme in there, something a little catchy, and we usually try to have a few dancers, and the crowd loves the music, so we never skip out on the music.
And what is the theme this year, Lori?
This year we have a Wizard of Oz theme. So we've got a few of the flying monkeys and, of course, the 4 main characters. Young Real Estate has the brains, heart, and courage to get you home.
Yeah, and we see Miss Danielle Wunderlich, Miss Sherry Hollifield carrying that banner, and it looks like the wind's getting the best of their banner in the front, so Miss Sherry's giving us a wave. Looks like the truck's being pulled there by Danielle's husband, Mark Wunderlich. See if Mark will give us a wave, thumbs up, something, wink. little bitty wave. Mikey Medley in the passenger seat. And we see
a few munchkins here on the corner.
There's Bella.
Miss Shirley Carney is the wizard. Got the yellow brick road and followed up by the house that fell on the witch. Looks like we're going to get some action here.
And Miss Shirley Carney giving blowing some confetti out everywhere for everybody. And here's the scarecrow.
Taking care of business. Put a little spin on it this year.
As you can see, several of the agents there in the office walking, and I see Miss Leslie, Kyle, which is the broker in the office, and a face everybody in Stoddard County probably recognizes. You may not recognize her right now, but Miss Linda Collier, and she's the one on the end here. So Miss Linda dressing up for the parade float. So excellent job by Young Real Estate, and they are followed by. We'll see if we can get a name here just shortly.
The Methodist Church.
And this is the Methodist Church. And the United Methodist Church here in Dexter, Missouri. Wait, see if they'll give the camera a wave. Vacation Bible.
Probably a theme there. Jesus' love is one of a kind. Very cute and colorful.
And here we have Hutchcraft Power Sports. And that is Justin Hutchcraft, better known as Hutch to a lot of people. There we have 2 commanders.
Anna says she knows a few of the drivers here.
Oh, Anna Claire recognizes some of the drivers.
Scott Central Braves band.
So another marching band, the Scott Central Braves marching band. Still see the remains from the confetti from the Young Real Estate float. And here's your Scott Central band. Here we have another queen, and Gabriella Shell, 2013 Little Miss Snowflake. Here we have yeah, you're right, a big lineup of Walk and Roll Learning Center. Yes, exactly right. Walk and Roll Learning Center daycare.
Next, we got the Walls of Terror.
Yeah, here's the Walls of Terror. We were anxious to see this one as we seen it. So, County Road 627. So I'm curious. I'm assuming that's going to be a haunted house this year in Dexter.
I believe they had it last year. I did hear a few things about it, but I haven't seen it for myself. But they're representing with a hearse.
Yeah, so interesting.
Dexter needs a good thrill for the Halloween season.
They do need a good haunted house. I think that may go over well. So Walls of Terror, and it looks.
Check that on County Road 627. I'm sure if you looked up on Facebook, you'd probably get all the information there of the times and the days that you could go take a tour of terror. Another FFA organization come in.
Yeah, we see the FFA and.
Dexter.
Although the fair board has said no candy this year, I see somebody sneaking some out, which I think is wonderful. I think there should be candy in the parade, but
Walls of Terror. Now, I believe it's no throwing candy, and yeah, the past couple years they've been pretty hesitant about getting the candy out just for the children's safety. So,
on the Walls of Terror, still dragging some kind of a scary individual down the street,
oh, that's never good. A man with an axe.
and I'm assuming there's probably going to be several younger children that may be terrified.
Yeah. Oh. There we go.
You can hear a few screams from the crowd.
Which is exactly what they're looking for.
And here is the Dexter National FFA organization. And I see Miss Madison Bishop there leading the way. And I should never start with the names because I know I'll miss one. And Mr. Kyle there up front. I will say the truck driven by Storm Massey. Maybe I can get away with that. And from our hops to tabletops. So they're certainly appreciative of the FFA organization. You know, Stoddard County, a heavy ag community. So
Got the Elks Lodge here.
here's the Elks. Elks care, Elks share. And they've got their mascot, the elk. They give the camera a big wave. She waves back a little.
Coming through here next. And that organization is ran by Tori Hillis.
My daughter Anna Claire has some fans of pesky boys behind the trailer. Impact. Recognize Miss Macy Comfort there leading the way. Miss Avery Riley I see, and Emma Pennington.
I'm pretty sure Tori has a tumble class and a cheer class, and is always open for more cheerleaders or tumblers.
That's Miss Callie White with the little bit of tumbling there, along with, I believe it's Emma Pennington. She hasn't turned around, but I believe that's Emma.
Emma's in the air.
Oh, there's Emma in the air, so I was wrong. I think that was Avery, so that was Miss Avery Riley. So looks like they have a pretty big group coming through here. There's Miss.
Tori's trying to round them all up. They're excited.
Yeah, they're excited. They're getting ahead of the crowd a little bit. Miss Macy, Miss Emma was waving at the camera. here.
Friendship Baptist Church.
Friendship Baptist Church. Smile God. Their banner read. Look at the so Lord Marching Royals. Twin Rivers just down the road from Dexter to the west. So the Marching Royals. Twin Rivers made up of several surrounding communities: Culin, Brosley, Dudley. I'm sure I'm missing some of the smaller areas in there, but Twin Rivers Marching Royals. They are going to be wild about cheer time. Wild about cheer time. I don't recognize it, but I'm assuming maybe in one of the surrounding communities around Dexter, another group of tumblers. So another opportunity for your child to join tumbling. And they've got a little float here they're pulling as well. Look at a pretty large group. And we'll get to see a banner here.
Rainbow Gymnastics.
Okay, Rainbow Gymnastics. I apologize. I knew that I would have heard of a cheer organ, probably with the one that's interested.
I recognized it. But that's Rainbow Gymnastics.
Yeah, but Rainbow, how the dogs go through rainbow. They do now. There's 4. The theme is the I mean 5 to 10 years. And they got the some 50s music going. You may not be able to pick up on the camera at home. And old horse and carriage here. And this is Jerry Brown Custom Wagons here in Dexter, and his number is 624-4755. Yeah, Mr. Jody Lemon, Stoddard County Assessor. His family's JJ and Shannon. She does barrel racing, doesn't she?
I'm pretty sure that's what she does.
Mr. Jody's come to a stop here.
It looks like we might be coming to the end.
Maybe getting, yeah, it looks like it appears getting towards the another out parade. Mindy Bell earlier, her son Cameron, you may be able to spot him. He's got the red shirt on there. On the horse. Not sure who he's riding with, so I apologize for that. There's Mr. Cameron. Cameron, can you wave at us? Cameron. I don't think you ever heard us. I apologize if I yelled into the mic at home, guys. So several horses here. I don't know much about horses, but Lori, is that something you know much about?
No.
Anna Claire, you sure you don't have any? She says no. She just smiles.
Shout out to all of her friends.
all of our friends. People starting to clear out, but
Probably going to head on over to the fairgrounds here in Dexter.
so another outstanding job by the all the attendees in the Stoddard County Fair again this year. And here this is followed up by Stoddard County Emergency Management Agency. And that was certainly that we need with the ice storm just a few years ago.
Certainly. Looks like that.
And it looks like the Dexter Police Department will finish us up here. And we will and we'll go ahead if we'll get the camera on us here. We're going to wrap it up, but we appreciate everybody tuning in. If you get a chance, get out to the fair tonight, support our local organizations. I know a lot of them are out there. You know, this is a big part of their fundraisers throughout the year, and just get out there and mingle. It's a great night to be at the fair. Again, I'm Kevin Bishop, along with my wife Lori Bishop, and tune in 2 weeks on Friday night, and we'll be bringing you the Dexter Kennett High School football game for homecoming. Thank you.